Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Dorothy. In today's video, I will be showing you all the process of how I cut and sew this stylish kimono I am putting on right now. If this is something you are interested in, please watch the video to the very end so that in the end, you as a beginner, you will be able to cut and sew this kimono without stress. I know what I am saying. This is not just the usual kind of kimono. This kimono has a keyhole at the back. It is fully lined and it is also beaded. So the sewing part of this kimono is quite tricky because of the keyhole at the back. So you will really need to pay rapt attention so you can understand what we are about to do or what we are doing. Or better still, pick a pen and a paper to note that point while we are working on it together. If you are coming across this channel for the first time, you are welcome. On this channel, I post video on pattern drafting and sewing tutorial. So if this is something you are interested in, please subscribe to the channel so you can get notified to when I drop new video. Now let's get started with the video. I will be using this beautiful Ankara print for this tutorial and it's about 3 yards, and I also have this lining with me here. So right now I'll go ahead and spread and fold my fabric so that we'll be able to draft the pattern of this kimono. So guys, we'll be folding this fabric into 4. This is because we'll be cutting the front and the back pieces together. I will first of all fold it into 2 like this, then I'll fold it again, making it 4. While folding this, please make sure all the edges matches or align so that you won't have one side shorter than the other or one side looking somehow funny. So make sure that you take your time to arrange the fabric and fold it properly. Let me iron it so it stays perfectly when I am drafting it. So you see this point or this part that doesn't have an opening, this place will be our center front and that's where we'll be taking our measurement from. While this part that has opening, you can see the 4 openings. You can see that our fabric is folded into 4. That is where I will be taking our armhole measurement. Okay, for the neckline measurement, I marked 3 inches for the neck width, but for the neck depth I would have marked 1.5 inches, but because I will be attaching a band, I will mark 2.5 inches because I want the band to sit properly at the neck area when I am done sewing it. This neckline measurement is for the back piece of this kimono. We will be adjusting the front piece neckline later on, so I will use my chalk to create a round neckline just like this. From the center front, I measured this and I had 23 inches. So this will be for the shoulder and the sleeve. The shoulder is cut together, so we won't be doing any shoulder slanting. So 23 inches is just perfect. So on this part I am directing, I will come down by 12 inches for the sleeve width. If you want your sleeve very wide, you can increase it, and if you want it small, you can decrease it depending on your preference. So I marked 12 inches for my sleeve width. From the 12 inches I came down by for the sleeve width or sleeve wideness, I come down from there by 1 inch for the armhole line. You can go ahead and use your ruler to connect that line straight so you'll be able to input your biggest body measurement there, but for me I'll just do it straight away. So from that line I divided my hip measurement by 4 and mark it on that line. Then I added 7 inches allowance for ease. Note guys, if you are making a kimono or a bubu dress, you use your biggest body measurement to determine how free the dress will be on you. So if it is your bust that is your biggest body measurement, divided by 4 and mark it, then you add extra allowance for ease. From the point I marked 12 inches, I will use my chalk to curve the armhole up to this point where I mark my hip measurement just like this. Then I will use my ruler to connect this line straight all the way to the length of the dress. Then I will go ahead and cut. I will cut the neckline and the armhole, then I will trim the length so it can be equal. This is how it should be looking after cutting. So now I will separate the front piece from the back piece so that we can work on each of the piece separately. To easily separate the piece, get the both sleeve together and then arrange the bodice like so. Make sure that everything is well arranged, all the sides and the necklines are properly arranged. After I am done separating the front and the back piece from each other, so now let's work on the front piece. For my front piece, I will just use my ruler to connect a straight line from the neckline. Okay, I'll connect it all the way down to the length of the front piece. Then I will go ahead and cut. There is no actual measurement for this. We are just basically opening the front piece so that we'll be able to attach our band. And that is it for my front piece. Now let's go ahead and work on the keyhole on the back piece. On the back neckline, I measured 5 inches from the neckline, and this 5 inches is where the keyhole will start, and then I measured 20 inches for the length of the keyhole. And I will use my free hand to make this shape that you see me doing like this. You can choose to be creative here, guys. Like you can decide to make a different shape entirely. Okay, so after making this shape using my chalk, I will then cut it out. So guys, have you subscribed to the channel yet? If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please subscribe to this channel. Give this video a thumbs up and do not forget to share this video at the end of the day. And this is how the keyhole is looking after cutting it out. So guys, what kind of shape do you think is it? Is it pear or pearl? Please drop your answer at the comment section. So, and that will be all for the cutting of this kimono. So right now I'll go ahead and cut the lining piece, then I'll cut the band, and I will also be cutting the pocket, and I'll be doing this off camera. For the sewing of this kimono, I will start from the back part. This is because of the keyhole at the back. We have to first of all use the lining to turn the keyhole area first. So I will arrange my fabric like this, then I will place my lining on it like this as well. Okay, make sure the fabric and the lining right face are facing each other. The major concentration should be on the keyhole area because that is where we'll be stitching first. So after arranging the keyhole area of both the fabric and the lining properly, then I will take it to the machine and sew it all the way around it. You can as well pin it down before you go ahead and sew it. And this is what the keyhole area is looking like after stitching. So I will go ahead and notch all the stitch area at the keyhole, then I will turn all the lining to the right face. That is both the front and the back lining. I will be passing the lining through the keyhole just as you see me doing. After passing the lining through the keyhole area, I will arrange the lining back to its normal position. That is, the back lining should go for the back and the front lining should go to the front. Then I will arrange the seam line very well. Then I'll go ahead and iron the key area, that is the keyhole area, very well. This is it after ironing the keyhole area. You can see how neat this is looking. So now I will arrange these pieces, that is the fabric and the lining, back as it is before. Okay, on the sleeve I went on to face my band. What I just did was I pinned the band on the sleeve, and the weight of this band is 2.5 inches. So what I did that my camera didn't capture was that I cut 2 inches from the sleeve length because of the band. I don't want the sleeve too long, and it's totally optional. If you want the sleeve to be long, you can leave the sleeve length at that, then you attach your band to it. Okay, we will be having an inseam finishing by the time we are done sewing this kimono, and that is why I am attaching the band now, so that when we start joining the lining, the seam line for the band will not show. So I took it to the sewing machine and run a stitch on the band, and this is it after running the stitch. To finish up joining the lining to the kimono, let's work on the front pieces first, then we will finish the back piece later. So for the front pieces, I will separate the front pieces fabric, that is the main fabric, from the lining. I did this in such a way that the front pieces lining will be together with the back pieces. Just watch what I am doing and you will get it. I arranged the front pieces lining very well and straight, just as you can see the front pieces fabric arranged. Make sure you do the same thing for the lining as well, even though they are separated. So take your time to arrange this very well. When I'm done arranging the lining, I will fold in the back pieces in between the front pieces. That is, the back pieces in between the front pieces fabric and its lining, just as you can see me doing. Then I will go ahead and join the neckline of the fabric to the lining, and I will use my pin to hold them together. And that is how I will continue to arrange the back pieces in between the lining and the front pieces fabric, and you will join them together and you will pin them down. I will continue this process until I am done pinning my fabric down to the length of it. I hope you guys understand what I am saying. If you don't understand, please just watch the video and you will get it. So that guys, that is how I pinned my front piece up to the length of the front pieces. So the length of the lining is short by 2 inches, while I added 2 inches to the length of the fabric, so the fabric will complete for the shortage in the lining. Okay, and when I am done pinning all the side of this part of my front piece, that is the center front and the side front, including the sleeve area, I will do the same thing for this side as well. And when I am done arranging my fabric and my lining together, I will take it to the sewing machine and sew them. So guys, this is what it's looking like after I am done sewing all the side. I hope you can see all the stitch area. So now I'll be using the armhole of the back to pull out the back pieces. That is this armhole right now, the opening at the back. I'll go ahead to pull out the back pieces, and I'll be using the same armhole to turn out the front pieces that I stitched earlier to the right face. This is what it should be looking like after turning it out. So now I will go ahead and arrange the seam line, and I will also be pushing out the pointy edges. Now let's go ahead and finish up the back part. To finish up this back pieces, we'll be doing the same thing we did for the front pieces. That is, I'll be placing the front pieces in between the back piece and its lining, just like this. Then I will use the back lining to cover it up, just the same way we did for the first for the front piece. Then I'll go ahead and first of all pin the length of it, and after then I will pin all the side up to the armhole area. Yes, at this point we'll be pinning it to the armhole area of both sides, but I'll be leaving an opening of about 5 inches on this side to turn out the back to the right face. And when I am done pinning all the side and the length of this back piece, I will take it to the sewing machine and I will stitch all the pin area, leaving this side of about 5 inches opening. This is it after sewing all the sides, and here is the 5 inches opening I left to turn out the fabric to the right face. So now I will put my hand inside and I will bring out the front piece, then turn the right face out for the back part. And when I am done turning it, I'll take it to the ironing table and give it a very good press. This is it after ironing. You see this opening here, I'll just go and top stitch on it. So now I will join the front and the back pieces together like this, right side facing each other. Then I will go ahead and sew the side for about 1 inch. It is a free wear, that is, the kimono is a free wear. You won't be needing your body measurements, or you'll not be marking any body measurements for it. So just go ahead and arrange the armhole down to the length of the kimono properly, right side facing each other. Then you sew about 1 inch. Okay, this is what it looked like after sewing the sides. So I have also gone ahead to iron it out. Next on, we'll be placing our band on our kimono. I'm using this black crepe fabric as the band, and it is 2 inches wide, which is on fold. So when I open it up, it is 4 inches, and the length I went on to measure around the front pieces like this. That is where I'll be placing my band. I measure it all around from one end to the other. So measuring from this side to this point, I have 60 inches, and also from here to the remaining length of this kimono is 49. So 60 plus 49, I have 109 and I added 6 inches extra, so the length of this band is 115 inches. Okay, and like I said earlier, I have gone ahead to cut the band, and it has a joining. So this joining part, I'll be placing it at the neck area. So right now I'll go ahead and take the midpoint of my neck area. So I folded my front piece like this, then I just went on to mark the midpoint, and when I'm done marking the midpoint, I went on to place my band on it. Then I use my pin to secure it, and when I'm done pinning it down all the way around the area where I am placing my band, I took it to the sewing machine to stitch it up. And I have also gone ahead to cut pieces of this fabric for my pocket as well. The length of this pocket is 14 inches while the width is 9 inches, and I cut 2 pieces of this. And I have also used my pressing iron to fold in the side where I'll be running my stitches. I also cut a band for it, and this band is about 1.5 inches. Okay, so I'll go ahead and place the band on it like this, then I'll go and run a stitch. This is what it looks like after attaching the band on the kimono. Here you can go on to top stitch on it so that the band can stay in place, or you can go ahead and use hemming gum to do what I am doing right now. I will be dividing my hemming gum, then I'll be putting the hemming gum in between the fabric like this. Then I'll be using hot iron to press on it until the hemming gum melts in between. So now I will go on to do this off camera. This is what it looks like after ironing in my hemming gun. You can see how neat this is. So now I will go ahead and place my pocket. So I went on to measure from the shoulder down to 17 inches. This is where I want my pocket to sit, so I will use my chalk to mark the 17 inches. Then I'll place my pocket on it like this. Then I'll go ahead and top stitch on it. This is it, guys. After fixing our pocket, you can see how neat our kimono is. So let's go ahead and bead the keyhole area of the kimono. So already I have turned my fabric to the back side where I'll be fixing my bead. This is the keyhole area. So right now this is the bead I'll be using. So I got this black bead from the market, and I have my needle here. Then I have my fishing line, and this fishing line is about 0.50 meter or 0.50 mm. So I'll pass my fishing line in between my needle like this. This is easy. It's just the same way you pass your sewing thread in between your needle when you want to tack a cloth. When that is done, you knot the end. Then I will pass this needle on the lining part of this kimono like this. So after then, I'll go ahead to fill up my fishing line with beads. Okay, just watch as I am doing and you'll get it. So I'll go ahead and fill it up. After filling up the bead on the fishing line, you'll go ahead to measure it to the other side where you'll be tying it up. When you are satisfied with the outcome, then you go ahead and tie it up just like this. So guys, when beading, you need a lot of patience for you to be able to do it, because it is quite tiring and boring and time consuming. So guys, take your time to bead this when you are doing yours. Okay, so I'll fill up my fishing line with bead like this. Then when I am done, I'll go ahead and tie it up on the other side of the keyhole. So I'll repeat the same process for the second one, and that's how I'm going to be doing until the keyhole area is fully beaded. So I will pass the needle on the lining like this. Then I will fill the fishing line thread with the bead, and when I am done, I will pass the needle on the other side. Then I will knot the tip of the fishing line so it doesn't lose. So when I am done beading this one, I will take the remaining one off camera to finish it up, okay? Because if I should continue filming this, it's going to take a lot of time. So thank you so much for watching this video. What do you think about this kimono? Is it something you want to have in your closet? Please drop a comment for me at the comment section, and please do not forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. Thank you guys. This is the after look of the kimono. You can see how beautiful it is. Thanks for watching guys. See you guys on my next one.